Um, Hi, Holly. Hi, Megan. So here's some feedback on your draft two of your music video. Um, there's some lovely, really lovely kind of moments in there. I've got a big problem with the lip syncing. Lip syncings seems to me to be out quite a lot. Now, either that's because it is out or because Matt's singing isn't kind of vocalized clearly enough, but I think he does a reasonably okay job. But that was really off-putting, I found throughout. So please get that lip syncing spot on in the next draft. Otherwise, you break all the authenticity, you break that sense of truth, and I don't believe it. I also think those highly synthesized elements where and there's that kind of little crescendo and he goes really kind of falsetto and squeaky. I wouldn't have him singing with those because clearly he's not singing. That this is a kind of digitized kind of version of his voice. So I wouldn't have him singing at those moments. You know, I'd be cutting to back to Macy, doing something quite interesting and fun with the edit. I like your ideas, your initial ideas of using kind of colors and splashes of color and him dancing and almost colors appearing from him or lines or something like that. Have you seen that Justin Bieber video? They do that really, really well. Just kind of graffiti, kind of these animated lines over the top of the footage. If you don't know it, give me a shout and I'll find it for you. I also want, I think, more distinction between the look of the two. I'd like you possibly to do something with color correction to show the difference between. Now, the stuff you've got of Matthew actually feels in some ways slightly overexposed. And the colors, I'm not sure if you've done something to it or whether it's something you filmed. The stuff with Macy seems much brighter and warmer. So obviously maybe you could kind of push that a bit. I like, possibly having Macy as this kind of memory. So maybe making that warmer, possibly adding a vignette of some sort to give that sense. And then Matt it's colder because it's already kind of cold, I think, and make it bluer, push the overexposure a little bit and add some kind of splashes of color as you're kind of going. Okay, so I like the doorway. You kind of come back to this doorway at the end, and right here, and you've got this shot of her standing in the doorway, and you repeat it a few times. So is this a moment of huge regret for him? There it is. That he stood her up effectively. That's what I read in that shot in the doorway. She's waiting. She's clearly waiting. So maybe you should use this doorway again. You should bookend the doorway. Start with her in the doorway and come back to the empty doorway. Because there she is waiting for him in the park, and he doesn't show up. So it's all his own fault, really. You can tell this is overexposed. Look how white his shirt is. Also, that's a little bit overexposed as well with Macy's shot. Look how bright it is in this corner here. The light is doing too much. Now you can go into what's called levels, curves, and maybe you can tweak that a little bit. But like I was saying, I'd like Macy to be brighter, warmer, more autumnal, possibly with a vignette, and Matt to be colder, bluer, whiter, without the vignette, to show this kind of distinction between the two of them. Okay. As I said, the lip syncing is consistently out, I think. Because I think Matt is singing well. He's singing his heart out. He's performing for you, but the syncing's not working. So I'm not sure. You're going to have to go back and have another look at that. Those little cuts, I think, are too quick. Bang, 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 and then bang, cut away. I'd have let them last a tiny bit longer, especially that last one. I also think maybe you should think about kind of transitions. Obviously, he he changes direction. He's walking this way, then he's walking that way. I'd cut away at that point to something else. I like that. I know you hit that on the beat, but you repeat that. And I think there's maybe you could do something kind of else with it. There she's waiting. There's him being a fool and kind of going to her. This is a nice shot of Macy. I wanted her to make eye contact at that point to kind of look. I think she might look here. Might be on. No. I kind of, I want that connection with her. I want that kind of eye contact with her. There's one shot which is lovely, which she does make eye contact. And I think that's really nice. Also like this shot with him lying down and then cuts to her lying down. That's kind of really nice. You could possibly reposition that shot so she's a bit more up. I don't know, because it's not quite a perfect match. Her head should be up in this section, I think. And then a little push in. Okay, that's quite nice. I'm not that sold on it. You've got a lot of handheld stuff. I'd like to see something a bit more kind of locked down sometimes. Don't get that. What's the point of that? She's there without a jacket. Then she's got a jacket. Why? Okay, and this is another one where you hit it on the beat, which is nice, but I think you've played that, you've done that once already. Don't do it again. Find another way of hitting that crescendo. So that's interesting. She draws a picture and rips it up. So clearly this is a symbol of her rejection of the relationship. That's a lovely close-up there, ECU on her eyes. Can't we have one on Matt's? Away from her. Then she's in the doorway. She's still waiting. I'd have that ripping up the photo kind of much later, possibly. Center on the frame. It would be nice possibly to do something with that framing a little bit. That's okay. Some of these shots you could push into a little bit, I think. I was thinking, she can lie down, but she doesn't. Again, if there's a graphic match, if you've got Macy in profile as well, cut from his shot to her shot. Again, she throws the flowers at the camera. Can we not throw something at Matt? Maybe flowers, I don't know. Or just cut to black, just cut to red or black on that. Have you stabilized any of these? I'm not sure if that might work, or maybe that's in some ways part of the problem. I like this kind of retreating away from Macy's character, and I quite like that she's kind of getting slowly further and further away. But again, then you cut back to her there and the hand. I'd like you to reorder this Macy stuff quite a bit. I think the ripping up of the picture, the walking away, the tracking backwards should be towards the end. I mean, you have got it a little bit towards the end, and then she walks out the doorway and has gone. Cut back to Matt, looking a bit despairing. Come back to that shot, of his bored an idiot I have been. Anyway, some good stuff there, but some stuff for you to consider. I'm also eager to talk to you about what your plans are for these kind of splashes of animated color, which you're going to add in InDesign. Anyway, well done, ladies. Plenty to think about, digest, and set yourself some targets for the next draft. So, done.